Have you ever wondered why a successful salesperson is so knowledgeable? Well, like you guys, I hadn't either up until recently. But when you do a little more research, it's actually pretty interesting. But the simple answer to my question is, it's so they can make the sale good. Not good, but great. When you really look into the knowledge that a salesperson possesses, it comes out in three components. These three components are product knowledge, company knowledge, and industry knowledge. Has anybody ever heard of those before? Oh, really? That's kind of cool. So, product knowledge, the best way to explain it is just how it sounds. Your product knowledge is going to be everything you need to know about your product. So today I'm going to be just showing the Schaefer's 219 Synforce Green grease. Now, if anybody didn't know, grease is used on tractors to lubricate their bearings, etc. But your product knowledge is going to be maybe your weight, your dimensions, your size, a description of the product, really anything under the sun that you would need to know. But the best salesperson is going to know more than just the weight and the dimension. They're going to know the features that are going to benefit that customer. So this Schaefer's 219 is going to have features like being waterproof and having excellent reversibility properties. When you know your product, you're going to be able to relate those features to the benefits of your customer. And relating the features to the benefits is going to make it easier to sell to that customer. So that's going to be a little bit about your product knowledge. Now we're going to move on to company knowledge. Your company knowledge is going to be, again, just how it sounds. It's going to be everything you need to know about your company. So, for example, it would be your warranties, your policies, your guarantees, anything that company is going to provide to customers in any sort of way. So a customer comes in, you say, and they ask about your return policy. They have an item that they purchased, say 33 days ago, and your return policy from your company states that it has been 30 days. If it's past that, you can't give a refund. Knowing that policy, you're going to be able to follow that company knowledge just a little bit closer. And having that company knowledge is going to make things like customer complaints and handling customers when they have issues with your company a little bit easier. But if you didn't know, you can take a deeper dive into company knowledge with things like knowing a company's history. So I'm going to use the same brand I did, Schaefer's. A company history information about Schaefer's would be that they are locally owned and operated in the state of Missouri. Now in the state of Missouri, take a deeper dive into that history, and the Schaefer's plant actually burned down and they had to rebuild it around 1839. Now, from company knowledge, the salesperson is going to move on to their industry knowledge. That industry knowledge is going to be a little bit harder for a lot of salespeople. A lot of salespeople, when they first start out, don't know a lot about the industry. But the industry knowledge is kind of what ties all three of these aspects together. Industry knowledge is going to allow you to compare your product to competitors' pricing, competitors' products, and it's going to allow you, most importantly, to be able to look at market trends. So I kind of put up this little example right here, and it's a product life cycle, but really I just want to look at the growth, the maturity, and the decline, because that's a good idea of a market trend of a product. So you can see if this was labeled maybe in years on the bottom, you would have, say, 2018 to 2025. And this would be the growth, the maturity, and the decline towards 2025. Now this is important when you're talking to maybe other businesses, but more specifically when you're talking to customers, especially since that industry knowledge is going to allow you to talk to customers about where the product is now compared to where it could be or compared to where it's been. This is really going to draw those customers in so they know that what they're looking at is reliable and everything kind of fits together. Now these are three very important components of knowledge that every successful salesperson has. So just remember this the next time for any of you business majors out there or any future salesman that you try to sell a product, all of this knowledge is going to be very useful to you, and you're going to want to look back and make sure you know your product, your company, and your industry. Knowing this will allow it to be easier with customer complaints and handling your product when you sell it. Thank you.